quick update on how this project has evolved since the last time I made a quick video. The last time we were out here on the outside workbench, I was scraping off the blue backlighting diffuser gel with the faceplate. The project, that was several days ago, the project has since evolved to got the needles painted kind of how I want them, mixed up some 10-to-1, mixed up some enamel, fluorescent enamel 10-to-1, fluorescent orange to red. Got the needles where I want them. But I guess the big breakthrough was yesterday. Yeah, since then I've been just kind of hell-bent on wanting to make a homemade bench tester. And yesterday, the epiphany, myself and a family member of mine who's a retired mechanic that we had was the plug and harness for the cluster is was likely to be the same as GM S-Series trucks from at least 1995, 1996, and 1997 in the S10, S10 Blazer, Sonoma, Jimmy, what else am I missing? The Olds Bravada, because they shared a similar style, clusters, needles. So on a whim, I have an old S10 parked behind the barn, a 1995 S10 that was my high school and college vehicle from 15, 20 years ago. It's never going to run again. The only thing salvageable out of that old S10 for the longest time I thought would have been the engine and transmission, and I was just going to gut the rest of it. Then I had the epiphany that, I've already pulled that S10 cluster to use as a guinea pig for painting needles and painting the backside of the faceplate. I was thinking, man, that plug has to be the same. Well, I already had the dash all mutilated and ripped apart. Reached as far as I could back there, off the cluster harness, back into the dash to hopefully get 4 to 6 inches of wire. I snipped them all, pulled it, and lo and behold, it is the same 32 pin cluster plug that was in what I'm going to assume the 95 to when they killed off the GMT 400 trucks in the 3/4 ton varieties and the Yukon Denali and the Escalade in 2000. Some subtle differences. Not all the wires are used, but essentially once I cut it from the S10, it's just basically an electrical connection between a 12-volt power source and the cluster. So then we pulled up the cluster schematics for this cluster, found out with the pins it's probably hard to see, the pins are numbered. You probably catch those. Those pins are numbered as you read it right to left, 1 through 16 on the bottom, and then back to the right, 17 through 32 on the top. We chased the schematics online for this cluster for which wires would be the illumination bulbs and ground. And a family member of mine has a Go Diag unit. I'll probably throw pictures in the video if I ever make this video. And we hooked it up to the Go Diag unit and basically turned the Go Diag unit as a metered 12-volt power source and connecting this to the Go Diag harness. So you can actually see the wires we stripped back, so we know one of these, one of these is ground and one of these is power for illumination. One of the two, I can't remember which one's which. I should start labeling them, which I'll probably will. And basically turn that Go Diag unit into a glorified bench tester in terms of checking backlighting. Otherwise, I'd put all this work into it only to have to rip the cluster out of my old truck and basically bench test it in the truck, which is a chore. When this was initially shipped, I kind of pseudo bench tested it in the truck. I wasn't sure how long it was going to take, so I popped the hood on the truck, hooked up a battery tender because I didn't want to drain the battery with the door open and all the lights and the blinking for several minutes as I took everything apart. And I was like, man, I really don't want to do that again. So little ingenuity, little persistence, and between myself and the retired family member, my dad, retired mechanic family member, we have pieced together between his Go Dag unit, which he uses for other things. I can essentially bench test this for illumination and possibly for other future tests. Found out yesterday that I should have took a video of it. Backlighting, these have to be the original almost 30-year-old incandescent 194 bulbs back there. They all lit, but they have seen better days. So here in a minute, I'm going to go in the house, based on several hours of research, order some super bright LED COB 194 replacement bulbs for the 6 illumination bulbs on the back of the cluster. They're out of super bright LEDs out of Earth City, Missouri. I think it's near St. Louis, and I'm here in Southwest Iowa. So once I place the order, I'm assuming it'll ship same day, Monday, because today's Sunday. And hopefully, I have them before the 4th of July, which is next weekend. So maybe this will evolve into, if this project goes over well enough and I've thoroughly documented it with pictures and videos every step of the way, man, maybe this will evolve into me maybe buying old clusters on Marketplace or eBay, and then at least refurbishing needles and backlighting and slight subtle upgrades to what I would call OEM plus. That's kind of what I'm going for, an OEM plus. Not a fan of the aftermarket Dakota Digital and Holley clusters a lot of people are putting in these trucks, but this might turn into, not saying it'll turn into a side hustle or a hobby turning into a side hustle where I can make a few extra dollars along the way, but it's turning out as planned. I haven't hit any major road bumps yet, so we'll keep documenting and see how it goes. We'll check back in a few days once I've made some more progress.